In the 1990s, Reebok wasn't just a shoe brand. It was bigger than Nike in the US. It signed the biggest NBA stars. It dominated gyms, aerobics classes, and street fashion. At one point, Reebok was worth over $4 billion annually. Today, it struggles to stay relevant in a market it once helped build. So what happened? How did Reebok go from a global sports powerhouse to a brand fighting for attention? This is the controversial downfall of Reebok.
The rise from British roots to global fame. Reebok actually started in 1895 in England when Joseph William Foster created one of the first spiked running shoes. But the real explosion happened in the 1980s. Reebok spotted a cultural shift before anyone else: aerobics. Fitness classes were booming, especially among women. Nike was focused heavily on male athletes. Reebok did something smart. They targeted women. The Reebok Freestyle became the first athletic shoe designed specifically for women, and it exploded. By the late 80s and early 90s, Reebok was everywhere. Fitness culture, basketball courts, hip-hop fashion, NFL sponsorships. At one point in the early 1990s, Reebok actually outsold Nike in the US. Yes, Reebok was on top.
The golden era of athletes. Reebok built its brand around star power. They signed Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, Venus Williams, and NFL and NBA partnerships. The Reebok pump became iconic. Remember that inflatable button on the tongue? It wasn't just a shoe. It was innovation. Kids would literally pump their shoes before games. And then came Allen Iverson. His signature line, especially the question, became cultural symbols. Reebok wasn't just competing with Nike. It had personality. It had swagger. But behind the scenes, problems were growing. Identity crisis begins. Nike had a clear identity: performance plus inspiration. Adidas had football and global heritage, but Reebok? It kept changing direction. First aerobics, then basketball, then hip-hop culture, then extreme fitness, then CrossFit. Instead of building a strong, consistent brand identity, Reebok kept chasing trends. And when you chase trends, you're always behind someone. Then came the biggest turning point. In 2005, Adidas acquired Reebok for $3.8 billion. The goal? Compete with Nike in North America. But instead of strengthening Reebok, many believe Adidas slowly sidelined it. The Adidas acquisition controversy. On paper, the acquisition made sense. But in reality, Reebok lost its independent identity. Marketing budgets shrank, signature athletes left, innovation slowed down. Nike kept dominating basketball. Adidas focused on Yeezy and football. Reebok got stuck in the middle. Then came another controversial moment. Reebok shifted heavily toward CrossFit and UFC sponsorships. While this created a niche audience, it alienated mainstream sneaker culture. Meanwhile, sneaker culture exploded with limited drops, collaborations, streetwear hype, and social media marketing. Nike and Adidas mastered hype culture. Reebok didn't. Sales kept declining. By 2020, Adidas officially admitted Reebok was underperforming. The fall from the spotlight. By the late 2010s, Reebok was no longer part of the main sneaker conversation. No viral drops, no massive NBA presence, no cultural dominance. In 2021, Adidas sold Reebok to Authentic Brands Group for around $2.5 billion, far less impact than expected from the original acquisition. From being a Nike rival to being sold off, that's a dramatic fall. Can Reebok come back? Here's the interesting part. Reebok
isn't dead. Under new ownership, the brand is trying to return to its roots. Retro basketball models, classic 90s designs, nostalgia marketing, Shaq partnerships revived. And nostalgia is powerful. We've seen brands like New Balance and Puma make strong comebacks. The question is, can Reebok rebuild cultural relevance? Or has the sneaker industry permanently moved on? The real lesson. Reebok's downfall wasn't because it lacked innovation. It wasn't because it lacked star athletes. It wasn't even because of bad products. It was because of identity confusion. In business, clarity wins. Nike knew exactly who it was. Adidas knew exactly who it was. Reebok kept trying to be everything. And when you try to be everything, you risk becoming nothing. But history has shown something interesting. In fashion and culture, everything comes back around. The greatest brands evolve, adapt, and learn from their mistakes. They become symbols of something deeper, an idea, a feeling, a purpose. Reebok didn't just miss the mark on defining itself, it missed the opportunity to become a symbol of something meaningful. Maybe Reebok's story isn't over. Maybe this is just intermission. Companies often face moments of crisis, but it's these moments that offer the most valuable lessons. Reebok has an opportunity to redefine itself, to pivot, and to carve out a space that feels authentic to its roots while embracing the future. It's not about copying the success of Nike or Adidas, it's about Reebok finding its own voice and reclaiming its position in the market. The question isn't if Reebok can bounce back, it's whether it can rediscover its identity and rise from the ashes stronger than before. Maybe Reebok's best chapters are yet to be written.